following is a presentation of the Trojan Sports Network. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Winter Holder Field on the campus of Taylor University, just a few short miles from the bustling metropolis that is downtown Upland, Indiana. And we have got a good one to start day 3. After everything except the first game yesterday got washed out, we eliminated Mid-America Nazarene thanks to Indiana Tech's walk-off home run to win 8-7 in the bottom of the 10th. We now get the darlings of the tournament so far and the viral sensations from Monday. The 4-seed IU Southeast Grenadiers. We've been living under a rock since Monday. We apologize for that, but they just happened to score 12 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs to stave off an opening game loss and flipped an 11-2 deficit into a 14-11 win. We're joined today once again by the 2-time first-team All-Crossroads League pitcher, Noah Huseman. You got to be riding pretty high if you're IU Southeast because they came back and shut out the high-octane offense of Missouri Baptist, who just has hit 108 home runs on the year.
Yeah, to score 16 unanswered, starting with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and then to come back and a great outing by Schaefer to go almost a complete game, over 120 pitches to just shut down a really high-octane offense. You got to be feeling really good coming into this. And this is probably one of the biggest swing games in the tournament to go from the winner's bracket either into the championship game or have to go through the elimination bracket tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a weird thing with the rain yesterday. This game was supposed to happen yesterday afternoon. Then we thought it was going to happen yesterday evening, later into the evening, and then potentially even really, really late, venturing on like close to an 11 p.m. start if we absolutely had to. The rain never got out of here. So instead of having that one game a day potentially for the first 2 days, you don't have to turn around. The loser of this game plays tonight at 7 o'clock to keep on playing. So, like you mentioned, huge game. Number 3 starter out here for IU Southeast and Connor Sims. The Trojans will send out Nick Crabtree, being the 2 seed. That helps. How do you if you're the Taylor offense, you're the visiting team here today, how important is it to get off to a hot start?
Yeah, it's really important. You got to get rolling in that first inning, just like we saw them do against Mid-America Nazarene. Put a couple up on the board. It helps settle the nerves. Winter Holder Field, if it's a little cloudy and cooler like this, the wind's going to be blowing in, so we may not expect to see 3 home runs in an inning like we did on Monday. But just trying to get out there, see good pitches, hit the ball in the gap, and get rolling here early.
57 degrees and cloudy here on this Wednesday morning. Connor Sims, the freshman right-hander out of Greenfield, Indiana, Greenfield Central High School, a 4-2 overall record. He is almost split right down the middle in starts and relief appearances this year. 7th start, 16th appearance overall, 3.77 earned run average, 59 strikeouts, to just 16 walks, his whip, which is walks plus hits per inning pitch, just a shade over 1. So not a lot of guys get on against the right-hander this year.
Yeah, and to be coming out here, putting up these numbers, transitioning between reliever and starter can be difficult, may lead to a higher whip. We'll be excited to see if he can get ahead of batters and see how he really tries to attack this Trojans offense that has been on a roll lately.
Taylor coming in 10-2 victory over Mid-America Nazarene, the 3 seed. They went 2-0 after falling yesterday in that walk-off game against Indiana Tech. Missouri Baptist and Tech for our second game today, and then tonight to wrap everything up, 7 o'clock for our final elimination game. The winner here moves on to the first of what they would hope is only 1, but potentially 2 championship games tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. Whichever one of these teams wins today, they are 1 win away from going to the World Series. Batting order for the Trojans, same as it's been for the better part of 2 months. Cam Knepp, Mason David, Sam Glad, 1, 2, and 3. Then Braden Manning, Brennan Frickel, Luke Picciotti, Ben Kennedy, Fletcher Remick, and Jacob Caruso to round out the 9 today. For the back-to-back Crossroads League Coach of the Year, Kyle Gould. First pitch up and away, a ball right at noon on the nose. And it's 1-0 to Cam Knepp. Sims, 6'2", delivers a second one, and that one finds the zone with the sun creeping out from behind the clouds. Knepp Monday night was 0 for 2, but got on 3 times, 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Sun out, high, 2-1. The first of the 2 runs that Knepp scored Monday afternoon gave him the all-time lead in career runs, breaking the tie with Hall of Famer Ryan Otis. And we've seen a carbon copy pretty much the last 3 years for Cam Knepp. He's got the count 3-1. And the bat, I think, is wearing a mark in the back left of his shoulder from just resting there.
Yeah, like we said on Monday, it seems like he just wills the ball out of the zone when he's at the plate.
3-1, and he's going to take a 4-pitch walk. He had to look back to Nathaniel Haven just to double-check. It was a tight one, but a leadoff walk, just like how Taylor started things off Monday against Mid-American Nazarene.
Yeah, interesting start so far from IU Southeast. Not a single off-speed in that at-bat. We'll see if he keeps going in this. It's a different feel from what we saw on Monday with a big mix from Trevino.
Yeah, Trevino was really good in the middle innings. Taylor touched him up twice, and that was more than enough for Taylor to take it to the finish line. Here's the Crossroads League Player of the Year, Mason David. And a breaking ball just misses the outside. Ball 1. Not a good start here for Sims. 6 pitches and 5 have been out of the zone. Mason went 3 for 5. Launched one of those 4 home runs for the Trojans on Monday. Checks down 1. It goes all the way to the backstop for strike 1, excuse me. Make it the 3 home runs that Taylor had. We'll set the defense here after the second pitch to David. He's got it at 1-1. Team leading average at 360. Sims out of the stretch after a leadoff walk to Knepp. Infield at double play depth. Too far inside. 2-1. Here to David. Colin Long in left. Mason White in center. Luke Powell's the right fielder. Infield from third to first. Slater Shield. Putnam the shortstop, Braden Hazelwood, Max Flock, and Logan Murphy doing the catching for the Grenadiers. Hard hit, third base side, just pulled foul by a whisker. Some good space between Shield at third and the bag. Knepp was ready to try to go first to third. Rain has gotten out of here. It's been hanging around pretty much all day. Nothing too heavy for the most part. Just a little bit of sprinkles here or there, but it's been consistent and kind of annoying. But it's broken free here as the sun creeps out behind those gray clouds overhead off to our right. 2-2 to David. Leadoff walk has Knepp at first here in the top of 1. Sims delivers. Swing and a miss as David chases one down low. And after getting ahead, good bounce back there for Sims for the first out.
Yeah, that's the third breaker he's pulled out. In the first 2, you could see he kind of spun it away, and then it came out a little bit early for him in. That was a really good one, starting in the zone, darting down into the dirt.
One away for the second-team All-League pick, Sam Glad. As he and David went back-to-back to really break that game open on Monday against Mid-American Nazarene in the middle of the ball game. Righty on lefty here with the wind blowing in from right center. Glad jumps on the first one and skies it back and out of play. Sam has come into this opening round hot. Final 2 games of the Crossroads League tournament, game-tying home run and the eventual game-winning hit in the championship game. The game-tying home run was in the de facto quarterfinals against the same team, St. Francis, who just won 2 games for the first time ever in their first opening round appearance. Remember, the Crossroads League put 2 teams in the World Series a year ago. St. Francis picking up the mantle held by IWU a year ago. Knepp still over there at first. And a fastball left upstairs, 2-1. Team leading 11 home runs for the sophomore Glad. Has driven in 55 on the year. 3 behind Manning with the team lead of 58. Up 2-1 on Sims. Up the left side, but it's going to bend foul on a late swing there from Glad. And for the second batter in a row, the count is even 2-2. Sam only had that 1 hit, the homer, in the 5th inning on Monday, excuse me. Did score twice, thanks to a walk. But he tries to get 2 on the bases here in the top of the first. No score, 1 away. Winners bracket game here to start Wednesday morning. 2-2 offering. Another one golfed out of play to the left. Fans continuing to file in here to Winter Holder Field. Finals week for the students, so an early start time. But they are starting to come out here in mass right around lunchtime. 2-2 again to Glad. He swings and misses. Good breaker there from Sims as Glad turns around and asks Nathaniel Haven behind the plate a question, but 2 quick strikeouts here for Sims after the leadoff walk.
Yeah, it looks like Sims has some pretty good swing and miss stuff. He's not really going for that light contact. He's trying to miss the barrel, and so you may need to see the Trojans start to look more towards getting on that fastball early and staying out of those 2-strike counts.
A guy that can do that is the All-Crossroads League first-team man, Braden Manning, who steps in. Ball 1 away. Braden top 3 in the league in RBI with 58. Trying to break out of a little bit of a funk he's found himself in, 0 for 3 on Monday. Second one, inside fastball, and softly right back, and Sims able to stab it out of the air. He's able to work around a leadoff walk, and Knepp is left there at first. We're scoreless after 1/2 inning here on the Trojans Sports Network. Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland. No score after 1/2 inning. Top of the order, obviously up for IU Southeast. Colin Long, Mason White, and Luke Powell. Their whole outfield leads things off. And then it's Cody Putnam, Trevor Goodwin, the hero from Monday morning, Max Flock, Logan Murphy, Braden Hazelwood, and Slater Shield against the second-team All-Crossroads League pitcher Nick Crabtree, and he deals a fastball up high for a strike, or for a ball, excuse me. Nick, a 3-1 overall record, 2.77 earned run average. Started his first game of the year March 15th against Grace. It's his 9th start of the year after being a reliever last year and this year. 2-0 on another one up high. Here to Long. Foes batting a minuscule 116 off of the sophomore lefty this year, standing at 6 feet tall. Long comes in, batting .367 for the Grenadiers. And there's a strike at the knees, helped up there by Caruso, 2-1.
Good adjustment there from Crabtree, missing high on the first two. Come down, hit the bottom of the zone.
Long had a hit in both games Monday for the Grenadiers. Chases an upstairs fastball, swung so hard he stepped into the opposite batter's box, and Crabtree's got back-to-back strikes to even it up. 2 for 5 and 1 for 5 for the Evansville native Long. Fifth one from Crabtree, up the right side, foul.
You could see him going back to that pitch here, doubling up. That one kind of spun out down the middle of the plate. You could see him either going fastball up or dropping another slider on the back foot.
Nick throws exclusively out of the stretch. Here's another 2-2. Nubbed up the third base side. David Charge, the Gold Glove Award winner, over to first with ease and one away.
Really good bounce back there from Crabtree after falling down 2-0 to get a nice soft ground ball over to Mason David there at third.
You've started these situations before. You know, you've started game one. You've also been the game two starter here in the opening round at home. What is this situation like?
Yeah, you know this is a big swing game here, as we've said at the start of the broadcast. You really just want to get in the zone, establish the fastball, start to figure out the breaking stuff so that you can get out of the first inning clean to set up yourself really well for a nice long start into this game.
Arguably the best two-hole hitter in the entire opening round digs in Mason White. He's up 2-0 here from Crabtree. And the center fielder batting .418, slugging .766, 84 hits and 37 for extra bases with 69 runs batted in, batting out of the two spot. One away. In on the letters, taken for a strike. Little late action there from Crabtree to get it to 2-1. Wind blows out towards the right field foul pole. Fastball low and away, 3-1 to the lefty White. Other umpires today, Nathaniel Haven calling the balls and strikes. Nicholas Stabb at first. Gary Wagenschuts at second and Jeremy Hosier at third. 3-1 for Whites. Inside for ball four, and a man is on here for the Grenadiers of IU Southeast. With one away, no score. Not only is White excellent at just getting on base and driving men in, he's also one of the top base stealers for IU Southeast. 17 for 19 this season is the senior. Sun comes out, ripped into right field. Knepp is going to send away from him, bounce up the wall on the well-struck ball from Luke Powell, and White goes from first to third. Good throw in from the right field corner. Kennedy applies the tag, but Powell slides in safe, and a big one-out double has got IU Southeast on the verge of jumping out early here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, Crabtree just leaves a first pitch breaker out over the plate a little bit. Powell jumps on that and sends it out to right field. If the wind was blowing out a little bit more, that one would have had a chance to get out.
One of the rare days where the wind blows in here at Winter-Holder Field, a pitcher's best friend at the normal hitter-friendly park. 12th double of the year for Powell, and it brings up the spark plug for IU Southeast, their shortstop Cody Putnam. Saws off the first one. Taylor infield at semi-double play depth with the one out, but runners at second and third. It'll be interesting to see how much Taylor wants to challenge, see if they get a ball into the infield if they try to throw White out at home. They won't get the opportunity here as Putnam sends it deep into center field to Picchiotti. He dances. He makes the catch. That should be deep enough to score White. Picchiotti uncorks a missile over to third for they hold the runner at second, but scoring from third base is White on the sac fly, and IU Southeast takes an early 1-0 lead. So that is now 17 unanswered runs for IU Southeast since falling behind 11-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth on Monday. And here's that hero from that game Monday, Trevor Goodwin. Cuts on an upstairs fastball for a strike. His 3-run home run to dead center field, which we had to wait on for a little bit to figure out if it was caught or not by McGinn of Indiana Tech. Saws it off softly left side. Kennedy ranges over. He calls off Manning in left to make the play. But a one-out walk comes back to bite Crabtree and the Trojans as IU Southeast leads 1-0 after one on a sac fly here on the Trojan Sports Network. It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, Rob Sisson, and Adam Sieglin, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Stands here at Winter Holder Field, filling up nicely here as we get ready to start the top of the second. Their club, the Trojans, the 2 seed, trailing 1-0 to the red-hot Grenadiers of IU Southeast. Taylor got a leadoff man on with a walk, but Nepp was left over there at first. And now Brennan Frickle tries to start things off here in the top of 2. It's ball 1 here from Sims. Fights off one on the hands, out of play. 90 miles an hour inside, 1-1. Brennan, sophomore out of Driftwood, Texas. Graduate of Dripping Springs High School. If you look at some of their uniforms, it just says Drip across the front in script. Phenomenal. Bouncer up the middle, charging his Putnam from short, makes the play just on the left of second and whips it to first, and Flock for the first out. So just 2 balls put into play here, and both soft contact. Last out in the first out here in the second. What does Taylor have to do here with Picciotti stepping in, trying to barrel one up here on Sims?
Yeah, you see both from Sims and Crabtree a little bit more of an aggressive approach on the mound compared to the more surgical pitching that we saw from Trevino and Pentecost on Monday. You got to get in there ready to go from the first pitch. You may not get one in the zone, but if you do, you better be ready to crush it.
Well, crushing pitch is what Picciotti's done his last 2 ball games. Homer in the Crossroads League Championship game, homered Monday to start the opening round. Had one he liked there. Foul tips an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count evens at 1-1.
Yeah, gets a really good swing off there. Maybe just a little bit more ride on that fastball than he was ready. Let's see if he adjusts here.
This week's Crossroads League Player of the Week, the first of his career. Well struck, but foul up the right side. And with a guy with Picciotti's speed, Flock is crouching a little bit closer to that line behind first base than he normally would. Anticipating another pull swing here from the lefty Picciotti. Down 1-2. Sits on one that tails away, 2-2. Luke batting .303. His second season here at TU. Curveball right at the upper part of the zone, and Picciotti, you can tell by the look on his face, would like to have that one back. Third strikeout of the day here for Connor Sims, and there are 2 gone for Taylor in the second.
Really good pitch right there from Sims. That breaker starting out of the zone high, falling down into the zone. Something there from our umpires.
Yeah, second base umpire Gary Wagenschutz said we're not going to do that to the IU Southeast dugout that's on the third base side today, being the home team. Ball 1 high to Kennedy. The home plate umpire Nathaniel Haveman said something to him after the Frickle ground out. So that's twice here in the inning against the red-hot team here for the Grenadiers. BK fouls it back, 1-1.
Going back to the Picciotti sequence, we go change-up off the plate, and so you're thinking maybe a fastball coming up, and he instead plays off that and drops a curveball in, freezes Picciotti. A really good sequence there.
1-1 to Kennedy. Gets underneath that one, a fastball that's sent out of play. He's down 1-2. The Trojans trailing 1-0 here in the top of the second inning. They got out early, scoring 3 against Mid-American Nazarene Monday afternoon. Sims looking for a 1-2-3 second. And 1-2 chased in, swung on and missed. 4 strikeouts here for Sims as he has kept Taylor at bay as he looks skyward as he adjusts his crimson cap. 1-0 the IU Southeast lead after an inning and a half here on the Trojans Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Bottom of the second of this winner's bracket game. 4 seed IU Southeast, the 2 seed Taylor. IU Southeast, the home team here today. They were the home team Monday in the comeback thrilling win against Indiana Tech. The visitors, when they knocked off top seed Missouri Baptist to end the night. 2 pitches, a ball and a strike here to the lefty Flock. First one a ball, second one a strike. Here for the starter, Nick Crabtree, as he tries to keep Taylor down by 1 after a sac fly pushed across in the first. Leaning back, that one goes right off the fingertips as Flock didn't pivot at the waist. And he's going to stay in there. He is beside himself as that went right off of the knuckles. But he just leaned back. He didn't make enough of an effort, I think, is what the umpires are saying, to get out of the way of that pitch.
Either that or it could have gone off the knob of the bat. You think a fastball up and in, there might have been a little bit more of a reaction there as well if it actually went off the fingertips. We'll see what the umpires come together and come out of this meeting with, though.
Yeah, all 4 huddle up. I mean, that thing jumped off of his hands. So unless you're Wolverine and have steel for bones, the point of it going off the knob of the bat is very, very true. And that's what our umpires will rule with. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the old foul ball off the knob here to Flock. Sun coming out, breaking through the clouds here in the bottom of the second for the leadoff man, Flock, and he fights that one off the handle of the bat. Another one close to the digits. Big day against Indiana Tech in the first game Monday for Flock. 3 for 4, a couple of doubles, drove in 3. He watches Crabtree miss low, and the count evens at 2. Flock, Murphy, and Hazelwood. That's 6, 7, and 8 for the Grenadiers. Crabtree out of the stretch, fought off, dives, he can't make the play. Kennedy waits, fields, fires a bullet to first, and the leadoff man's retired for the 2nd inning in a row.
Yeah, good effort from Crabtree there, trying to bounce off the mound, but you're not too sad to see that ball kick on through to Kennedy there at short.
The catcher, Logan Murphy.
Remember, we saw Kennedy end the game against Mid-American Naz on Monday with a bare hand stab. Here one, a little bit more routine. Slow roller, he's able to make easily. Brings up the catcher, Logan Murphy. Good opening breaking ball there from Crabtree to get a looking strike 1 upstairs.
That's the first breaker we've seen from him with some real bite. It looks like maybe he's getting a little bit more of a feel for it here in the 2nd inning.
Second one popped up, left side. David races, and he's going to quickly run out of room. 0-2 on Murphy. In our conversation with 6th-year pitching coach Justin Barber, he said that was the biggest thing that Crabtree worked on from freshman to sophomore year, reworking the slider. A year ago, put a lot of stress on his arm and his elbow and put him into a decent amount of pain. They flipped it this year, and it has been wonders for 3 and Gray. Fouled off to the right, still 0-2.
Yeah, if you go back and watch any of the recaps from when he pitched last year, you'll see a bit more of a sweeping movement. So a lot more horizontal movement on the way to the plate. Can be really good. You see that a lot at the major league level, but it can also be pretty hard to control sometimes. And so we see this year a lot more in the zone. A lot of that probably comes back to the slider.
Swing and a miss, breaking ball there, and he threw it one low. Out number 2.
And showcasing it right there, you see the change from the horizontal movement to more of that vertical movement. Switching back a little bit to more of a Mitch Eubler type slider that we would see here a couple years back.
He was okay.
He was all right.
Well, Mitch would appreciate that breaking ball. Looking at strike 1, here's Braden Hazelwood.
Showing a lot more confidence in that pitch right there, a lot more belief in the breaker.
We sadly didn't have the radar going when Mitch was here. That would have been fun. Going back to it again as Crabtree misses away, and the count evens to the second baseman, Hazelwood. 0 for 2, played only the first half of the game before getting pulled against Indiana Tech, then was a monster in the nightcap against Missouri Baptist. Sits on one high, and that one just misses the zone. And the count goes to 2-1 here for 10 and white. White jerseys, crimson numbers, and letters for IU Southeast. Taylor in the gray uniforms here on their home field. Purple numbers, purple letters, the 2-1. And low for ball 3 to Hazelwood. Hazelwood, the senior from Canby, Indiana, .226 the average. 3 for 4, the 2-run home run to really kick the game into high gear against Missouri Baptist. He's up 3-1 with 2 outs and takes a strike at the bell, and the count is full as Crabtree looks to get a 1-2-3 top of the bottom of the second and keep the score at 1-0 for IU Southeast. Wind blows out towards right. Deep breath from Crabtree, the payoff. And Hazelwood up the left side. Hangs in the air as Manning tracks into foul territory. He runs and he barrels right into that chain link fencing. No friends over there as nobody in the IU Southeast bullpen as Manning bounces back. It landed too far away from him to try to throw his glove over the fence to try to haul it in. So it's still 3-2 here for Hazelwood.
A guy like Manning barreling down on that fence there, you almost feel a little more scared for the fence than for him.
It's a large man running fast. Crabtree's going to plunk Hazelwood on the feet on another 3-2, and he's on with 2 away.
Yeah, going for the back foot slider there that got a little bit too much of the back foot.
So the number 9 man, Slater Shield, as Hazelwood moseys to first. That was a good line, by the way. It was very well done.
Thank you, Rick.
1-0 for the 4-seed IU Southeast, riding hot after their big Monday, going viral. Shield a bunt, third base side. Caruso fields, spins, fires over to first. Diving and beating the throw out is Shield. Excellent attempt there from Caruso as the mask went sliding as he threw it. Shield with a head first slide into first, and it's 2 on with 2 away here in the second for IU Southeast. We saw Shield. We saw a couple of guys in our first couple of games on Monday dive into first and beat those throws out. 2 on the pond here for the top of the order, and Long goes after an upstairs heater and swings and misses. It's 0-1. He's 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to David in the bottom of the last inning in the first. I think we're just in someone's Be Real, Noah. That's a strike 2 at the plate. I don't know what those are. I'm an old guy. It's okay. 0-2. Up the right side. That's going to get past the Trojans and into right field. Knepp comes up throwing. We'll have a play at the plate. Glad not cut off. Caruso puts the tag. See ya! As Hazelwood gunned down by the outlaw Cam Knepp in right. As IU Southeast upset, one of their coaches is being ushered back to the dugout by home plate umpire Nathaniel Haveman. An excellent throw from Knepp. Keeps it at 1-0 IU Southeast after 2.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
So the Trojans get the first big defensive play of the ball game as Cam Knepp guns down Hazelwood trying to score from second. And what looked to be a prime opportunity for IU Southeast with 2 outs and 2 on, where we heard that before, to go up 2-0. Remick, the DH, leads off the top of the third, a first pitch strike from Sims. Second one's too far off the plate. Good attempt from Murphy to pull it across. And it's 1-1 to Remick. Fletch, top average for the Trojans, doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify. But 471 as a sophomore, almost wears that one on his left knee. And now he's up 2-1. It'll be he, Caruso, then back to the top of the order, and Knepp. Taylor, one base runner all day. That was Knepp's leadoff single, no hits. Remick pulls to the left side. Running to his right is Putnam, waits on the slow roller. Low throw to first, a good stab by Flock to pick it there, and the Trojans have seen their 7th man retired in order. One away here in the 3rd.
The catcher is Jacob Caruso.
And here's Caruso, graduate student from Rootstown, Ohio. Played his first 4 years at Thomas More. Big swing and a miss. Fastball for strike 1. Again, Sims fell behind early to Knepp to lead the game off, walked him on a 3-1. Since then, he's been almost clinical with 3 balls in play all week contact. Fastball high, ball and a strike now to Caruso. Batting 195 is the 5'9" backstop with a double and a homer. Righty on righty. And a good looking strike 2 in there from Sims.
Yeah, you can see Sims is really carrying himself with a confident presence on the mound. That's got to be contributing a bit to how he's attacking the hitters.
He's up 1-2. That one slipped out of the hand and sailed high as he taps his chest. 2-2. Just a freshman, but looking anything but. Here is both teams today with a win. Would be a win away from the World Series. 1 away, nobody on. 2-2, dangerous to strike 3. Caruso as a catcher knows that strike zone like the back of his hand. He stood still, and it's ball 3. As you can hear, the IU Southeast folks voice their displeasure. Taylor trying to get their 2nd base runner of the day against Sims as they trail by 1. And we'll have another one as that one lifted out of play.
This is exactly the kind of a bat you want out of your 9-hole. You know, Caruso, batting average may not be too high on the season, but even here you're getting 7 pitches, 8th pitch coming here on your 9-hole catcher.
And he looks at strike on the inside. Good pitch there from Sims just above the knees. And he gets his 5th strikeout here through 2 2/3. And Knepp comes up for the 2nd time, trying to avoid back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for the 2-seed Taylor.
Right fielder, GM5.
3 swinging, 2 looking on the punch-outs today for Sims, who's been machine-like ever since he walked Knepp to lead the game off. And Cam takes an off-speed high. Now 2-0. Earlier this season, Knepp became just the 12th Taylor player in program history to amass 200 career hits. Has 204 currently right now. Swings through the 2-0. Knepp's Taylor's only base runner is now Sims trying to retire 9 men straight since that free pass to start the game off. Knepp up the right side, just foul. Past first base. And first base coach Cam Screeton. A 1-0 lead for IU Southeast with a sac fly back in the 1st. Taylor with the 1 base runner and no hits so far here against the freshman Sims, who's with anything but like a rookie today. The 2-2 offering. Inside, ball 3, and Sims visibly upset, hopping around, and now has a sly smile to his dugout. Ball 3. Putnam mirrored the anguish of Sims on the hill. Payoff with 2 outs, and the base is empty. Knepp rolls it over to the right side, right to Hazelwood, who scoops it up after stepping to his right, throws to first. And Sims has kept the 2-seed Taylor off balance all day. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. He's retired 9 straight. We head to the bottom of the 3rd with IU Southeast in front 1-0 on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Mason White leads things off here for IU Southeast as they try to extend their lead at 1-0. Looking strike here from Crabtree. The stellar play from Knepp. Gunning down Hazelwood, who tried to score on a 2-out base knock. But Connor Sims has been unhittable today here by the Trojans as White disagrees with strike 2 inside. He walked and scored on the sac fly from Putnam for the current 1-0 score. And here he sits away on an upstairs heater. '84 hits for White here in his senior year and 52 games played coming in. 1-2. Up the left side, Manning tracks, ranges back. It's going to get over his head and bounce off the fence. White with a leadoff double as he fires his way into second. It's his 21st double of the year, and IU Southeast gets their 4th hit of the ballgame. It's their first leadoff man to reach today.
Yeah, and you can see why he's had so much success this year. A lefty who's able to go backspin a ball over the left fielder's head. That's pretty hard to pitch to.
Right fielder, Luke Powell.
So White on for the second time. As Knuth, the winning pitcher from Monday, is out retrieving some equipment. Already showing bunt. Here's the lefty Powell. Crabtree fires, bouncing third base side. Splendidly done, but a good read from David to read that one as it just takes a slight left-hand turn in foul ground. Powell stupid fast, batting from the left side. As he tries to get White 90 feet away from making it a 2-0 IU Southeast advantage. Powell struggled against Indiana Tech Monday, going 1 for 6. Did drive in 2. Was 2 for 4 against Mobat. Showing bunt again. Third base side, but this one directly foul off the barrel, and it's 0-2. We've seen a couple of guys throughout the first 2 days of the opening round lay bunts down with 2 strikes. Everybody's been successful so far. We'll see if they have Powell, the senior, go here again. He doubled and got to second base back in the first. He swings away, 0-2. Good stab from Caruso on a turf one from Crabtree. Runner at second, nobody out. 1-0 IU Southeast lead. Big swing and a miss from Powell. He's down on strikes. And there's one away here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, that's an interesting move there to give up those first 2 pitches to a sacrifice bunt with no outs. You have a base open. You're 3-hole up. Interesting to try and play small ball there. You'd think going through the middle of the order you might let him take the bat off his shoulder.
One away for Putnam, who had the sac fly. We'll see if he tries to bunt White over. Keeps that bat locked and loaded as he watches a ball fly away. Sac fly for Putnam, drove in his 31st run of his senior year. Inside for a strike. Crabtree gets a looking one to even it up at very old IU Southeast ball club. Out of the 9 in the order, 6 are seniors. Goodwin and Long, the 2 juniors. Off the end of the bat, little flare towards center field. Carrying out to Picchiotti in center. He makes the catch as White, little unsure. Looked like off the bat it might drop into shallow ground, but it kept carrying out there, so White had to retreat to second. He stays there, and they're 2 away here in the 3rd.
Really good bounce back here from number 3 in Gray. Giving up that leadoff double over the left fielder's head. The bounce back here with a strikeout and then a quick out on the cleanup hitter.
The only underclassman starting today outside of the pitcher Sims is Murphy, the catcher for IU Southeast. Here's Goodwin, the junior, out of Kentucky. He's 0 for 1. Up the middle, and this should give IU Southeast a lead. A single right back up the box, and scoring from second will be White. And it's a 2-0 Grenadier lead here in the bottom of the 3rd as they try to move on in the winner's bracket to tomorrow's title game. The 3rd 2-out hit of the day for IU Southeast. They have been great today with 2 outs. 34th RBI of the year for Goodwin. He's now driven in 5 here in the tournament. Ball high. That's also his first RBI not coming in the 9th inning, as he had 4 in that massive comeback Monday afternoon in the bottom of the 9th. Ball to Flock. The 4th lefty in the order today for IUS. Low 2-0. So it's a walk with 1 out that came back to bite Taylor in the 1st. A leadoff double here by White has heard them in the 3rd. And 6th-year pitching coach Justin Barber comes out for a chat with the sophomore Crabtree and the elder statesman, the backstop, Caruso. You've been in these mound visits before. What are some of the conversations like?
You know, Barber does a really good job of adapting his approach to different pitchers. And so with Crabtree here, he really just needs to get him to settle down. You can see, even on the broadcast, if he's missing up and arm side and then down and glove side, means he's getting a little antsy, pulling that front side open a little too early, which is pretty predictable. You know, there's a big game going on, and so just trying to get him settled down, get into that back leg a little bit more and stay through the zone, get out of this inning, and so see if we can get a little deeper in the game before having to turn things over to the bullpen.
Jake Boyer is getting up and getting warm right now. The Trojans used just 2 men on Monday. Pentecost, the pitcher of the year in the Crossroads League, who got the win. Matt Dutkowski finished off that game in the final 2. We mentioned the success with 2 outs for IU Southeast today. They're also great with runners on, 4 for 7, and also 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position. They look for another 2-out hit here as Crabtree falls behind 3-0 for the first time today. This one too far into the lefty Flock. He grounded out his first time up to lead off last inning. Runner at first. That's a 4-pitch walk, and Crabtree struggling a little bit here in the bottom of the 3rd. So the White double and then a strikeout and a flyout. Had Taylor on the verge of getting out of here, still down 1-0. Instead, the 2-out single up the middle from Goodwin. As he now stands at second, has put a charge into the Grenadier offense. Here's Murphy, the sophomore, like we talked about earlier, against his fellow sophomore man in Crabtree. Checking and appealing to Nicholas Stab. It's ball 1 here to Murph. Sophomore from Fairfield, Ohio, is 0 for 9 here in the opening round. Or 1 for 9, excuse me. Third base side, bouncer, David Stabs. He'll hustle to third and beat Goodwin there. But a 2-out single by Goodwin has made it a 2-0 IU Southeast lead after 3. This is the Upland Bracket opening round on the Trojan Sports Network.
If you get sick, you can trust that we will take care of you. As a Magnet-designated healthcare system, our expert team will create a personalized plan to get you back on your feet. Marion Health. Great care from great people.
Taylor down 2-zip as we start the fourth. Crossroads League Player of the Year Mason David looks at strike one here from Connor Sims. The freshman from Greenfield, Indiana, has been a machine since giving up the leadoff walk to Knepp. He's retired 9 in a row. David, late swing, skips it over the Taylor dugout on the first base side today as the visitors, and he's down 0-2.
Yeah, it's just been all Sims here through the first 3 innings. He's really in control of this ball game right now.
Trojans still in search that first hit. David tried to provide it, but he's down 0-2. Checks. Ball, the bat didn't even go around. They appeal up to first, and this Nicholas Stab definitely says that's ball one. The bat barely left the vicinity of David's back right shoulder. Top 10 in the Crossroads League in average, RBI, extra base hits, and slugging percentage. Curveball that's above the letters. And a good battle back from Mason after falling behind 0-2. He's got the count even. 2, 3, and 4 up for TU. Plenty of power here, but they've got to get a man on via the hit category. David saws it off. Still 2-2. Struck out swinging his first time up. Opponent's batting .230 off of Sims this season. Has 5 strikeouts already today to push that freshman total up to 64. David leads off the top of the fourth. Taylor down by 2. Low in the turf for ball 3. Sunny day that started with clouds. High 50s. We'll get into the mid-60s before our day comes to a close. It was pretty toasty on Monday, but that rain yesterday cooled everything off. Payoff to David. He lifts one into the air, and it's blown out of play. Up the right side and out. .360 average for Mason. Driven in 50 runs this year. 31 extra base hits. Another payoff from Sims. Hit right up the middle. There's the Trojans' first hit. First barrel of the day for those wearing gray. And now for the electric factor that is 3, 4, and 5 in the Taylor lineup with a tying run coming to the plate.
Yeah, it's this second time through the order, the third time through the order, where you really start to see, can a guy carry a ball deep into the game? And as the offense, you know, Sims on the mound has just had your number the entire game. And so seeing how this offense responds here will be a big indicator of how the rest of this game is going to go.
First leadoff man to reach since Knepp did with the walk in the first. Glad tried to hit one to the moon. Back pick down to first. David casually got back in and stepped in quick. Excellent throw from Murphy with Glad, the lefty bat, providing a pick for the catcher for IU Southeast. Sam struck out swinging his first time up. Wind blows in on the power-hitting lefty. Sims out of the stretch. Glad, another one that he tried to hit to the moon. Foul tips this one, and he's quickly down 0-2. Sam a .292 average, but slugging .538. When he makes contact, it is hard and usually far. He's the tying run of the plate. Top of 4, leaves one high. Good eye there from the sophomore. Sims a deep breath, righty on lefty. David a leadoff singles, he's at first. Glad underneath that one as he scoops it into high left field. Long jogs in. Casual catch, makes it above his head. Easy out number 1 there for IU Southeast. So the second time through the order here for the Trojans. David has provided their first hit of the day.
Left fielder, Braden Manning.
And with the way that Sims has been dealing, you have to feel pretty good that you're only down by 2 as we get close to the midway point.
Yeah, defense has made some great plays for Taylor to keep them in this game.
Manning steps in. Good off-speed pitch that started at the belt. Manning thought it was low, but it just clipped his knees on the outside. Strike 1 here on the top RBI man for the Trojans.
IU Southeast is really bringing a strong intensity to this game right now. Pitchers pressuring in the zone. You see the catchers back picking to first.
Second one, Manning high bouncer, but foul. A couple of those for the Trojans here today that have been a foot away from going to the corner and being extra bases.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, they're definitely aggressive in the zone, hitting the ball on the ground, a couple pop-ups here. As you said, David's that first barrel. If they can string a couple of those together, you'll start to get some of that confidence back in the lineup.
2 strikes on Manning. He lined back out to Sims softly during the top of the first to a close. 1 away here in the 4th. Manning chases an upstairs fastball, comes up empty. 6th strikeout of the day for Sims, the 4th of the swinging variety. 3 pitches there to Manning, and there are 2 gone here in the 4th with Taylor still down by a pair.
Sims showing a really strong response to that leadoff single that came right back by his head. Maybe rung the bell a little bit there, but able to bounce back here with a pop-up and then a big strikeout of Manning right there.
Taylor is 0 for 3 today with 2 outs. Frickle trying to change that here and keep the top of the 4th alive. Frickle up the right side, but bends it foul. The barrel from David went right back up the middle for a leadoff single here in the 4th. Outside of that, and a couple of balls up the first and third base lines have been just fouled. Nothing really barreled up by Taylor today. David takes off for second. Low throw from Long, skips it off the turf. Good stab by Hazelwood to keep it in front of him, but David swipes second. And for the first time today, the Trojans have a man in scoring position. Ninth swipe of the year for the junior David, having a wonderful all-around year as the player of the year. Also the Gold Glove Award winner in the Crossroads League at third base. Pitch to Frickle was the ball. Count is even. Swing and a miss. Bounces away. David takes off for third, and now the Trojans' first run of the day is 90 feet away. Somebody in the stands thought it was a balk. Those wearing the black and gray, the umpire crew, thought no, but a Frickle swing and a miss. And a base hit's going to get Taylor on the board here. With 2 outs at the top of the 4th, they trail 2-0. Big gap in left center field if Frickle could find it. Takes a looking strike 3 inside, and right when it went by him, Frickle knew he was going back to the dugout. The Trojans leave a runner stranded at third. We played 3.5, and IU Southeast leads Taylor 2-0 here on the Trojans Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Hazelwood, Shield, and Long, 8-9-1 coming up for the Grenadiers as they try to score for the third time today as they lead 2-0. First pitch, a strike to Hazelwood, who started a nice little 2-out rally there in the second. And he goes around on an inside breaker from Crabtree. Quickly 0-2 here on the second baseman. Five hits to 1 in favor of the Grenadiers. 4 seed out of the River States Conference. Tail away, ball 1. Decatur Central graduate is Hazelwood. And watches one at the letters, just a little bit off the plate. And now he's got the count even 2-2 after falling behind 0-2 out of the jump, or off the jump, excuse me. Bottom of inning number 4. Winner moves on to the championship game tomorrow at 11 a.m. Hazelwood just tips the 2-2 back as he's a little bit underneath of it.
Would love to see Crabtree double up on that slider, try and back foot it. You know, spun that one up a little bit. It's a little dangerous. Make it better here.
Deep breath from the lefty and home. Leaves a fastball high, and the count's full as Hazelwood in danger of getting a leadoff man on for the second inning in a row for the Grenadiers. West Division champs out of the River States Conference in the regular season. Payoff and another upstairs fastball. Hazelwood stares back at his dugout triumphantly after falling behind 0-2. He draws a walk to lead off the bottom of the 4th. And here comes Kyle Gould, and this will be the end of the line here for Nick Crabtree. As Jake Boyer comes in for the Trojans, the sophomore starter unable to get to the halfway point. Runner on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th for IU Southeast.
Life to the full for me looks like approaching every conversation as if it is for the kingdom and to the glory of God.
Life to the full to me means being present where your 2 feet are at.
When I think of life to the full, I think of joy, especially the Taylor body, the Taylor community, what Taylor has to offer.
The way we're equipping students to live life to the full is that we're helping them have a global humility.
There are so many things at Taylor that are preparing me to live life to the full. I love doing research and engaging in projects within my major, computer science, so I could go from programming 1 minute to doing a Bollywood dance and performing as part of Mosaic Night the next.
We have a lot of opportunity here to help students and to equip them to live life full now and well beyond their years at Taylor, and part of that is the intentionality we have with developing relationships with one another.
I'm experiencing life to the full at Taylor through the different opportunities that Taylor allows us to learn about different cultures, people, and places.
I love that we get to do chapel together 3 times a week. Nobody takes attendance. Nobody tells me I have to be there, but I get to be there.
I think I see that in sports, on the football field, in the throwing ring, in classes, and also in student leadership positions.
I experience life to the full at chapel because I get to play in a chapel band. And I get to sit up there and play piano and glorify God with one of my gifts.
The community gives me a sense of life to the full in that I get to see students go through their 4 years here, develop as intellectuals and scholars, be prepared for their vocations, and go out into the world and influence the world for Christ.
New man on the hill is one of the talented sophomores for the Trojans, Jake Boyer, having a breakout second year. 2-0 record, his 17th appearance out of the pen, a 2.70 earned run average. Shield, the third baseman, shows bunt, and Boyer floats in an off speed for a strike. Boyer takes over for his classmate starter Nick Crabtree, who goes 3 innings and 1 batter here in the 4th. And a 2-0 IU Southeast lead. Runner goes. Swing and a miss at the plate. Caruso throws a little bit to the left of the bag. Frickel has to go off of his mitt. safe at second base is going to be Hazelwood. Caruso, one of the top men in not just the Crossroads League, but the country when it comes to throwing men out. 24 on the year. He has 98 in his career dating back to Thomas More. 2 strikes here on Shield. IU Southeast batting in the bottom of the 4th. They lead 2-0. The pitch from Boyer. Hard hit to the third base side. Diving stop David. Back to his feet. Tight throw over at first. Splendidly done by the player of the year, the Gold Glove man at third in the Crossroads League. 1 away.
Great play by David. You see, that's why he's the player of the year. All-around player. Squares up the ball in the last inning. Steals second base. Advances to third on a pass ball. Comes out here. Makes a great diving play to save a run. All-around baseball player in Mason David.
Back to the top of the order going, Colin Long. He screams one towards Picchiotti in center, who ranges to his left or right, makes the catch in the gap. And quickly 2 away as Picchiotti again shows off that cannon of a left arm, daring anyone to try to advance an extra 90 feet on the man in center. 2 away.
Definitely enjoying that day off yesterday, it seems. He's airing it out here even when they're not running over to third.
Packed house here at Winter Holder Field with 2 of the 3 Indiana teams here in the opening round. A little bit farther trek for the IU Southeast folks from Southern Indiana. And Taylor will intentionally walk Mason White. No surprise for the guy that's batting .418 with 2 outs. Gets you an out at first, second, or third. So they want to square off with Luke Powell, who tried to lay down a couple of bunts last inning when White had led off the frame with the double. He then struck out swinging. 2 away, bottom of 4. Boyer trying to keep it at a 2-0 hole for the Trojans. Deals out of the stretch, sawed off to the left side of the infield. David is there, dancing behind third. He camps underneath, makes the catch, and Boyer comes in and retires the 3 outs he needs. 2 left on the path here in the 4th. We played 4. Taylor down 2-0 coming up to bat here on the Trojan Sports Network. It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, Rob Sisson, and Adam Sieglin, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Six, 7, and 8 coming up for TU. One of their 3 lefties in the order is Luke Picchiotti as he leads things off against the stellar Connor Sims. Picchiotti squares a bunt, and it is bounced foul. 67 tosses here for the freshman Connor Sims in his first taste of the opening round. For 4-seed IU Southeast, the hottest team in the opening round after that 12-run, bottom of the 9th, 2-out rally Monday to get our opening round on the right foot. Picchiotti grooves it to center field. Back-to-back leadoff singles for the home team. And now the speedster is on the bases with the Trojans trying to tie this thing at 2. They get back-to-back hits. Our second game of the day will be our first elimination game, by the way. That'll be Indiana Tech will be the home team as the 5 seed against Missouri Baptist, the 1 seed. And the winner of that game will get the loser of this game to wrap up an elongated day 3 after a one game and a bunch of rain yesterday on day 2. So here's Kennedy, the shortstop, as the infield plays in here against the sophomore 31 in gray. Off the end of the bat and straight back foul.
Good swing on that one from Kennedy. He just missed it. You can see fouling it straight back. He was just a little bit under that ball.
Ben 0 for 1 today, struck out to end the second. Sims waits and kicks. Kennedy checks. Did he go? Yes, says Nicholas Stab. Strike 2. Now the Taylor fans voiced their displeasure with that strike call.
Very respectfully.
2 strikes on Kennedy after the Picchiotti leadoff single. And Kennedy pops it in the air. Bending out of play, and that's where it lands. David led off last inning with a single up the middle. He stole second, advanced to third on a wild pitch, but it was 3 consecutive outs after that. Taylor trying to string together back-to-back hits or just back-to-back men on base, period. With Picchiotti being just the third man to reach here today against the talented righty Sims. 4th one on its way. Kennedy pokes it off the end of the bat to deep right field. Powell goes back. He's got a beat on it, and he makes the catch in the right field corner. Throws one off balance into first, and Picchiotti back in time. Great ground cover there by Powell on one that was destined for the right field corner. And it looks like IU Southeast tried to pull a little hidden ball trick, but Picchiotti, wise Italian boy over there at first. And here's Remick. DH batting out of the 8 spot. First pitch to the left side. Could be 2 as Shield fields at third. They get Picchiotti at second over to first, and that's a 5-4-3. Ending double play. The Trojans' offense has struggled as Sims has been spectacular. Halfway point here of our winner's bracket game to start day 3. 2-0 IU Southeast as they come up to bat in the bottom of the 5th next here on the Trojans Sports Network. Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland. Bottom of the 5th, IU Southeast tries to win their 3rd game of this opening round. And they have scored, by the way, 18 unanswered runs since trailing 11-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th of our opening game on Monday.
Yeah, and it looked like they were about to last inning as well, and then Boyer came in, really settled things down. Let's see if he can take control of these middle innings that are so important in swinging a ball game.
He faces the middle third of the order, the shortstop Cody Putnam. So the first one for a strike, second one outside. Putnam has hit 2 balls to Picchiotti today in center field. A sac fly, and then just a regular generic fly out. Third one up top that he fouls straight back.
If you're IU Southeast here, you can't feel comfortable with a 2-run lead, seeing how the Taylor offense has been so bursty throughout the season. And so you're really looking here to get guys on and stay consistent, adding on those important runs as we go later into this game.
Little flare up the right side, sails over Frickle's head, and it's a leadoff single here for Cody Putnam. First hit off of Boyer. 6th one of the day for IU Southeast as Putnam's on for the first time. And also, if you're IU Southeast, you just went viral on Monday for never stop scoring in the last-ditch situation on Monday. So you have a first-hand account because you did it just 48 hours ago, knowing the importance of continuing to score runs and not take your foot off the pedal. Here's the big man, Trevor Goodwin, the hero of that game Monday. Fastball up and away for a ball. He's 1 for 2 this afternoon. That RBI single with 2 away in the 3rd. IU Southeast has been really strong today with runners on, 4 for 11. They've got the speedy Putnam over there at first. Backdoor breaker, nicks the outside corner, 1-1 for the lefty Goodwin.
Yeah, that single he hit his last time up went kind of up the middle, a little bit to the second base side of second base, and we see the shortstop shading him that way.
Throw over to first. Back in time is Putnam. Hasn't taken a lot of swipes this year, but he's 4 for 6. Goodwin a .329 average. The DH here this opening round for the Grenadiers. Shakes on one up high. He wants to have that one back. You can see the grimace on his face as Boyer softly dealt one high, and it puts the sophomore right-hander ahead 1-2. Bottom of the 5th, leadoff single for Putnam as IU Southeast, the 4 seed, leads Taylor, the 2 seed, 2-0. Winner goes to the championship game tomorrow at 11 a.m. and a win away from the World Series. 1-2 from Boyer. Putnam stays on a late swing. It was fouled and not held on to by Caruso. As Goodwin swung at the last possible moment and just got a stitch on that bat. .6'4", 235 lefty chokes up against the 6'4", 230 Boyer. Pick off to first, and Putnam with a safe lead, back in plenty of time. Boyer out of the stretch. 1-2 to Goodwin. Fouls it off the end of the bat, foul. Goodwin with a hit now in all 3 games for IUS here in the opening round with that single back in the 3rd. Another 1-2. Inside, he checked, and he did not go around, says Jeremy Hosier at 3rd. Goodwin thought about it. That's the one that he fouled off for strike 2 a few pitches ago. Nobody out here in the bottom of 5. IU Southeast, the home team, in the cream jerseys and pants. Boyer and Taylor in the gray. 2-2 as Goodwin skies it towards deep left field. Manning ranges over. He camps underneath, walks forward, makes the catch for out number 1. So back-to-back lefties, 4 in total in the order today for Indiana University Southeast. They lost to Point Park in the River States Conference Conference Tournament Championship game. Easy enough for me to say. With the Pioneers on to the opening round for the 2nd straight year. They were here a year ago and faced off against Taylor in the championship game that the Trojans won 12 to Squadouche. 0 for 1 afternoon for Flock. Hard hit right side, but bounces it foul. Ball and a strike. Here to 13 in white. Cloud cover is rolled in, blanketing the sun. So the neon yellow on the barrel of Flock's bat really popping right here in the bottom of the 5th. 3rd one from Boyer, fouled back, and that rings, well, let's see, handrails behind home plate. Our crowd mic is right about there, and I always get nervous when a ball gets fouled back there and don't want to lose a mic. We have a spare in case it's needed. Throw to first with Putnam back with room to spare. Righty on lefty, runner at first, one away, bottom of 5. Popped up a mile into the clouds. Kennedy, sunglasses on his purple cap, walks in from short, couple steps closer to second. Actually, still has those shades on. And the sophomore makes the catch, 2 gone.
Great job from Boyer there to just fill up the zone as we're going through these middle innings, really trying to be efficient with his pitch count to eat up some of these innings for the Trojans.
Putnam still over at first after his leadoff single, with Logan Murphy stepping in for the 3rd time. Late bunt, first base side, bouncing right to Boyer. The big man fields, tosses high.
Oh, pitchers are athletes, Rick.
But Glad 2 steps it over there. You were a pretty good one in your day. Boyer, no slouch as well, a fantastic high school basketball player at Blackhawk Christian. We head to the 6th, Taylor down 2-zip on the Trojan Sports Network. Nine-hole hitter, catcher Jacob Caruso starts off with an inside curve from Connor Sims, who has had more than enough run support here for the freshman right-hander, who has been stellar today in his 7th start of his rookie year. Has kept Taylor off balance, has limited them to just 2 hits and just 3 base runners in total. There's ball 1 to Caruso, as only one man in Trojan gray and purple has gotten to 3rd base today, and only one man's gotten to 2nd. 3rd offering, low. Sims, 6'2", again the rookie out of Greenfield, Indiana. First-year head coach Brett Neffendorf. It's part of a wonderful article written by Kyle Denrip of the Indianapolis Star after that thrilling viral moment on Monday for the Grenadiers. Had a lot of confidence in his right-handed man today, and then he puts one right below the purple 2-8 on the lower back of Jacob Caruso, and the Trojans, Noah, for the 3rd straight inning, have the leadoff man on.
That's a great start to flip the lineup over here to Cam Knapp as you're trying to get a rally going. You know, Sims' pitch count is climbing, nearing 80 here. We did see Schaefer on Monday night against Missouri Baptist go up over 120, but with the pitching coach coming out here to visit, you do wonder how long are they going to ride this really successful start of Connor Sims.
That's the former big leaguer and Chicago Cub, Glendon Rush, out there for a chat with Sims. His son Cade a sophomore on the IU Southeast roster. We talked about the success early on. It's now tailed away a little bit with runners on for IU Southeast. Taylor is 0 for 8 with guys on base today. Trying to flip the script here. You know, we were talking during the break. This is starting to feel eerily similar to Taylor in the Crossroads League Tournament Championship game against St. Francis. They couldn't get anything going offensively, and then they just kicked the door down with a sledgehammer in the middle part of the innings, and it was gangbusters after that.
Yeah, like we've seen all year from the Trojans, they tend to be a streaky, kind of bursty team. Once you get that flywheel spinning, they really start to churn in some runs. Other than the 12-run ninth inning on Monday night, Taylor has the most runs in an inning here with 19.
Knapp up the middle. They get the out at second, and a wonderful bouncing play. Putnam fielded it beautifully off the mound. The shortstop flips to Hazelwood. Loy came into pinch run, and that is a killer 6-4-3 double play as the Trojans, every time they started to get some momentum, the Grenadiers have stomped it out.
Similar play to end last inning to wipe the runners off the base. Sims is doing a really good job with runners on first, still just filling up the zone and getting a ground ball.
So again, the player of the year, Mason David, who has one of the 2 hits for Taylor, and he's the man, only man for Taylor that's gotten to second and third today. And the Trojans have got to find something here with 2 outs. Almost landing on the moneymaker for David. Ball 1. A single and a strikeout for the Taylor third baseman, junior from Bloomington, Indiana. Takes a ball inside, 2-0. It's just a 2-0 hole, but it feels a little bit bigger than it. Almost feels like a 6-0 lead with the way that Sims has been pitching today. Third one to David. And now he's up 3-0 with the Electric Factory behind him. We've seen Glad do damage in that Crossroads League tournament to tie it with a homer. But the heart of the Taylor order today, Glad, Manning, and Frickle are a combined 0 for 6. Again, just 2 hits on the afternoon for the 17th ranked team in the land, TU. 3-0 offering from Sims. Low for ball 4, and the Trojans get a much-needed base runner with 2 outs. It's their first base runner with 2 away today.
Really good discipline there from David, knowing that he's got that, as you said, Rick, the Electric Factory behind him. All he's got to do there is get on base, and now you have the tying run in scoring position at the plate with Sam Glad up.
It's not a great nickname. We probably got to workshop it a little bit more, but, you know, all 3 of these guys are going to come back again, so we have some time to, you know, take suggestions and, you know, workshop it, send it to a test group, if you will.
Yeah, they are pretty young. Oh, and it looks like we're actually going to the bullpen here.
Yep, call to the pen as Brett Neffendorf, the first-year head coach, comes out, and Sims' time is over. He has been a phenomenal man on the mound today, but with 2 outs in the top of the 6th, the Grenadiers go to the pen. They lead Taylor 2-0 with the Trojans batting here in the top of the 6th. Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland. It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, Rob Sisson, and Adam Sieglin, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. New pitcher in for IU Southeast, and a big fan of the Trojans Sports Network, Cade Reynolds. We had a nice conversation with the senior right-hander earlier today. And he steps in here with a tying run and the home run leader for the Trojans and Sam Glad with 2 away in the 6th. Reynolds deals, and Glad takes a breaker in for a strike from the right side for Reynolds. 2-0 record for the 5'10 senior out of Greensburg, Indiana. 5.79 earned run average, his 15th appearance, his 7th in relief. Second one, inside 1-1. Reynolds takes over for the starter Connor Sims, and the freshman was flat out fantastic today. Goes 5 2/3, 2 hits, 2 walks, no runs scored, and only one man got to third for Taylor today. Fastball in, back pick down to first. A good throw again from Murphy. That's the second time he's done that with Glad at the plate. That's not easy for the sophomore to do. Glad not a small man by any means at 6'1", 210. 0 for 2 day for the first baseman. Second team all Crossroads League pick, who lit the world on fire in the World Series last year, belting 4 home runs. Up 2-1 here, and now 3-1. We're at the top of inning number 6. Taylor's offense has been stymied today, but they've shown some life in the last 2 innings. Actually, the last 3 innings. We include things here in the 6th. 3-1 from Reynolds. Bouncer stabbed by the first baseman Flock. He turns and steps on third as the big man catches that one on the bouncer. Glad unhappy as he jogs it out into right field. Taylor leaves their 3rd runner on the bases today. They still are down 2-0 here through 5.5 on TSN.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Backdoor breaking ball here from Boyer. Starts things off to Braden Hazelwood with the ball. 2 big double plays spun in the 5th and 6th innings here by IU Southeast defensively have snuffed out Taylor rallies as the home team Grenadiers on Taylor's home field lead the Trojans 2-0. That matches the count here to Hazelwood, who has gotten on twice today with no official at-bats. He's been hit and walked. Swing and a miss, fastball 2-1. He was the last man, Hazelwood was, to face the starter Nick Crabtree. And we did see, it looked like Jack Ross briefly making his way to the Taylor pen as Hazelwood scoops it up and out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Winner of this game moves on to tomorrow's championship game as a win away from the World Series. IU Southeast trying to get back for the first time since 2021 with a couple of guys on this roster. Made that trip 3 years ago. They're trying to go back for the 2nd straight year. Ball 3 on 1 bouncing in short. The loser turns around and plays tonight at 7 o'clock against the winner of our 2nd game, our first elimination game of the day, Indiana Tech and Missouri Baptist. Full count to Hazelwood as he leads off the 6th. He swings, and Caruso holds on to that one somehow And a big first strikeout here for Boyer to get things going in the 6th.
Really good job from Boyer to bounce back after falling down 2-0 to the 8 hole. That's really how rallies get started, is when you let that bottom of the lineup get on. And so Boyer does a great job there, filling up the zone and getting a strikeout.
I mean, that's exactly, he got on with, before he got thrown out, Hazelwood got hit by a pitch with 2 outs against Crabtree, and it looked, before the dart of a throw from Knepp and right, that it was going to be an earlier 2-0 lead for IU Southeast. They got that second run in the 3rd. Number 9 man is Shield, who's been a really strong defensive third baseman in the 3 games now for the Grenadiers here in their opening round. 1-0 to Shield. Senior out of Franklin, Tennessee. Pops this one up the right side, bending towards the folks on the chain link fence. Glad races, he gets called off. And it's strike 1 here on 7 and white. Shield 1 for 2 today. Bunt single had the fun going there with 2 outs in the 2nd inning before being thrown out by his counterpart David over at 3rd on a wonderful diving stop. Boyer out of the stretch, the righty. Inside that clips Shield on the elbow, but they're going to say no. He's going to stay here because he didn't get out of the way enough. That's the 2nd time today that an IU Southeast batter has been plunked, but they haven't gotten out of the way enough for the liking of Nathaniel Haven behind the plate. And now Brett Neffendorf, the first-year head coach, comes in to chat. It went right off of the left elbow shield of Shield, no pun intended. And it looks like they're actually saying he might have even lifted that arm up to make contact with the Boyer pitch. It happened earlier with Flock, the first baseman, when he looked like it went off of his hands. That's what he was motioning. It went off the handle of the bat, or the knob of the bat. It'll stay as strike 2 here to Shield as Boyer tries to get back-to-back outs to start the bottom of the 6th and keep Taylor within striking distance as they trail 2-0. Here in this winner's bracket game, both teams trying to avoid having to come back and play tonight. Boyer rocks and fires. Sawed off of the middle, backpedaling, slipping on the mound. Boyer still sets his feet and has plenty of time to throw the first. You said pitchers were athletes earlier. Boyer doubles down right there.
Great job from Boyer to jump off the mound and get that ball there.
Now batting, the left fielder, Colin Long.
IU Southeast has not been sat down in order today. Colin Long trying to keep that fact true, or that statement still factual. He's 1 for 3 today, and a fastball is off for a ball. Bottom of inning number 6. First time that Taylor has been the visiting team here in the opening round. Just their 2nd game. The 3rd one for the Grenadiers. Up in the air to right field. Knepp watches it all the way in from Long. Cam jogs forward, makes the catch. And there was a 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th. Neither team has scored in 3 innings. IU Southeast leads Taylor 2-0 as Taylor comes up to bat here in the 7th inning next on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Still just a 2-0 deficit for Taylor, but we hit the final 3 innings of our game today. First full inning of work for Reynolds, and he has to face the middle third of the Taylor order. Manning, Frickle, and Picciotti. And it's a ball here to Braden. Braden was 0 for 3 Monday. He's 0 for 2 here so far on Wednesday. Back to a breaker, starts off on the hip, comes in on the inner half for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Line out, strikeout for Manning. Has not seen a lot of pitches against IU Southeast pitching here today. First 2 at-bats were against Sims. Here with Reynolds. Foul tips that one down, and he's behind in the count, 1-2. Just 2 hits all day for TU. Their offense has been stymied by Sims and Reynolds trying to take the baton here after getting a ground out against Glad to end last frame. High leg kick and home. Fastball on the hands. Manning takes for ball 2.
Yeah, Rick, this part of the lineup's been pretty quiet so far today. Great job from IU Southeast, but this is also the part of the lineup that could flip the game pretty quickly.
Manning and Frickle have not had the starts of the opening round that they would like. 2-2. Just below the knees. Close one there from Reynolds, and the count is maxed out. Taylor trying to get their 4th leadoff man on in a row. Payoff from Reynolds. Backdoor curve. Ball 4. Close. Very, very close. And for the first time in what feels like forever, the folks wearing Taylor purple and gray have started to show some life, with Brendan Frickle representing the tying run here in the top half of the 7th inning. Again, we said it earlier, it's only a 2-0 deficit, but it feels like a 6 or 7 run hole.
Yeah, it's that intensity that IU Southeast has brought to this game that's making it feel like much bigger hole than it really is.
Fastball away. 1-0 to Frickle. Frickle 0 for 2. Reynolds delivers. There's one at the knees for a strike. This one a little bit over the outside part of the plate. Now it's the Taylor folks that voice their disagreement. Just a couple of onlookers in the IU Southeast bullpen. Not a soul up in the Taylor pen. 3rd one to Frickle. Breaker misses away, and now he's up 2-1 with Picciotti looming on deck. Temperature has dropped considerably here as we start the top of the 7th. The clouds are still hanging around, but that wind has really picked up from left center. 4th one. Frickle takes, and he's watched all 4 come in. 2 for strikes, and now 2 for balls, and now 2 for strikes.
Yeah, they're really staying away from Frickle this at-bat. You don't want to let him get his hands inside that ball and really drive one out to left.
21 extra base hits, including 8 homers for the Texan. Leadoff walk has Manning at first. Frickle represents the tying run here in the top of the 7th. Reynolds deals. Frickle thought about it. It tailed away. He held the bat back, and now he's got the count full.
Now you're in a real pickle here if you're Reynolds. You've shown that fastball away. You've shown that slider away now, and Frickle's laid off. And so we'll see what Reynolds comes back with. I wouldn't be surprised if he doubles up.
Out of the stretch from the third base side, payoff. Chopped third base side, charging his shield, field to the chest, throws to first. Frickle is out, but the Trojans move Manning to second base, 1 away here for Luke Picciotti.
Yeah, that's not as hard hit as you want, but nothing hurt there. You're moving the runner up into scoring position with a great hitter here in Picciotti.
Garrett Hill has started to walk around in the IU Southeast pen. He's their closer, and he slammed the door on Missouri Baptist to get his 6th save of the year Monday night. Threw just 11 pitches that evening, so with the day off yesterday, he is relatively fresh. Reynolds trying to avoid disaster here as Manning is just the 2nd Taylor runner today to get to second base. The lefty Picciotti steps in. First one inside for a ball. First 3 pitches, first pitches of the inning have all been balls to Manning, Frickle, and now Pick. He has the last hit for the Trojans, leading off the 5th with a single to center. Taylor down 2-0 here in the 7th. Above the letters, 2-0. And with Picciotti's speed IU Southeast doesn't want to see him come onto the bases and represent the tying run. Wind has really picked up now, by the way, blowing in from left. Taylor is 0 for 11 today with runners on. Picchiotti to the right side. They'll be 0 for 12, barring a disaster from Hazelwood. He fields and tried to throw it away from Flock, but the big man ranges and stabs it off the right side, and now Manning stands at third, but there are 2 gone. So the Trojans 0 for 12 with runners on, now 0 for 2 with men in scoring position. They've been great getting the leadoff man on. 5 out of 7 have done so. It's just getting them home has been the hardest part of the afternoon. Kennedy almost wears one. He leans out of the way. It didn't hit him, but it's still a ball. Ben's 0 for 2. Last time up, put a charge to deep right field that Powell was able to hunt down. 2-0 Taylor deficit here in the 7th. Reynolds has run into some trouble. Kennedy left side, and Taylor gets their first run of the day. First 2-out hit, first hit with runners on, and first with a runner in scoring position. A 2-out knock for the shortstop Kennedy, and now he's the tying run for Remick.
Being shut out so late into the game, getting that first run across really feels like a sigh of relief for the Trojans. Now you just got to reset and get rolling with 2 outs, see if you can recreate some of that 2-out magic that IU Southeast has been experiencing so far this tournament.
Just the 3rd Taylor hit of the day, and now it's Remick. Above for a ball, and that is now 5 straight first pitches to batters here in the inning that have been out of the zone. Reynolds, the last couple, has just missed the upper part of the zone. Remick 0 for 2. Curveball, there's a strike. Good looking bounce back there from Reynolds to even it up. Taylor able to cash in their first run of the day home after Manning led the inning off with a walk. 2 groundouts got him over to third. Kennedy just singled him home. Remick has shown plenty of pop towards the back end of the year. His fastball on the outer half of the knees. Remick watched it in and just couldn't get it low enough. He's down 1-2 on the called strike. Fletcher was 1 for 4 Monday with an RBI. Trying to move the tying run and Kennedy off of first here with 2 away in the 7th. Reynolds ahead 1-2, 2 deep breaths he deals. Remick up the right side, bending foul. Kennedy with good speed over there at first. If Remick could find one of those coffin corners on either left and right as a Mallard duck goes flying at high pace from left to right. 1-2 again. Remick, third base side, just foul by a hair. And I mean a hair. It started fair and then took that left-hand turn right before it got to the third base bag. And that would have been one to give Kennedy an opportunity to go first to third or farther.
Absolutely would have been, Rick. But you have to love the approach from Fletcher here with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Staying aggressive. You know, he's .470 hitter on the year. Just got to trust that he can put the ball in play here.
Reynolds ahead 1-2. Remick fights it off on the inside. Third foul ball with 2 strikes for the sophomore Remick against the senior Cade Reynolds. Taylor's pushed their first run across here in the top of the 7th on just their 3rd hit. And they're trying for some late inning magic here in this winner's bracket game to start day 3. Reynolds deals. Kennedy goes. Strike at the plate. And the Trojans leave the tying run on. Reynolds pumped, as he should be, for his first strikeout. Taylor able to push their first run across. It's time to stretch an upland. 2-1 the IU Southeast lead here on the Trojans Sports Network. It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, Rob Sisson, and Adam Sieglin, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Jake Boyer out for his second full inning of work. Starts off with a off-speed in to the center fielder, Mason White. Called for strike one. RBI, 2-out single by Ben Kennedy has got Taylor to within one. As IU Southeast looks to get their lead back up to a deuce. Backdoor pitch, wonderfully dealt, but checking the swing was White. That one looked to be a surefire strike right before White stomped on the brakes and held that bat right before crossing the plane. He's gotten on base all 3 times he's been to the plate today. A walk, a double, and then the intentional walk in the 4th. Saws it off the left side, trailing David is going to have to make an incredible catch, and he does! The player of the year at the third base side ranges back and makes a catch over his head and over his shoulder.
I mean, if you're White, you want to get harder contact than that, but you just have to throw your hands in the air with a play like that. He could have been standing on second if that drops with a little bloop double.
They don't give player of the year awards to bums.
No, they don't, Rick.
One out for IU Southeast. A nasty slider in there for Boyer, and he starts off with back-to-back first pitch strikes. 1 for 3 is Luke Powell today, but arguably his biggest contribution was that snag on a Kennedy screamer to the right field corner earlier today. Sawed off here. It'll tail to the Turner Stadium turf. And it's 0-2 on the 3-hole hitter. Doubled in the first, strikeout and pop out to that Mason David guy over at third. 2-1 lead here for IU Southeast as they bat in the bottom of the 7th. Deep breath from Boyer, the 0-2. Off the end of the bat and out of play. Powell has had a hit in all 3 games of the opening round. Comes in batting .292 here to this winner's bracket game today. Inside did he go? They appeal, says yes. Caruso dropped it, fires to first. And a nice job there by Caruso to play it through as Powell down on strikes for the second time, and there are 2 gone.
You can see Boyer really showing some belief in that slider, and it's no wonder he's been having so much success recently with how well he's been throwing that pitch.
Just spot appearances a year ago. And we talked with Justin Barber, the pitching coach before the season, said he's a get out of jams and get to the next guy with a clean inning. And he's extended his outings through as the year has gone on. The shortstop Putnam sends one out of play. Had big stretches in middle innings in that Crossroads League tournament. Again, used sparingly a year ago as a freshman, but this sophomore class has jumped leaps and bounds here in their second year in college. Up high and not going around is Putnam.
Yeah, and that's a real testament to Boyer's work ethic to return basically every single pitcher from that staff that went to Lewiston a year ago. And he comes in with spot starts and is now the first guy out of the bullpen in the semifinal game of the opening round.
Third one down for ball 2. Again, last year the accolades for the most of the year were heaped on Manning and Kennedy because they had the most time, but then towards the end of the year you saw Pentecost, who's becoming a superstar this year, glad at the great end of the year a year ago. 2-1, little poke towards the gap. Knepp ranges back. He's towards the track. He is there in plenty of time and stabs it. Boyer has retired 9 straight. We head to the 8th inning. Taylor with a little bit of momentum. They trail by 1 here on the Trojan Sports Network. It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, Rob Sisson, and Adam Sieglin, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. An absolute wonderful ball game to start day number 3. The host and 2 seed Taylor fell behind 2-0. They scratched one out last inning, and now Luke Sutter, the freshman lefty, leads things off in a pitch hitting role in the 8th against the closer Garrett Hill for IU Southeast. First pitch on the outside, upper 80s fastball from Hill. Strike 1 here to Sutter. Sutter batting .205 this year. Did not bat on Monday, was originally going to pinch hit it, then a pitching change ushered him off. Big cut there, comes up empty on a fastball, quickly down 0-2, is 23 in gray. Out of those 8 hits for Sutter, a triple and a home run. Taylor down 2-1 as they lead off the top of the 8th inning. Hill readies, stares, and fires the 0-2. Sutter pokes to the left side, past 2 diving men, Shield and Putnam, and Sutter, after falling behind 0-2, grimacing a little bit as he jogs up there to first base, but he pokes it through the left side, and for the 5th straight inning, Taylor has put the leadoff man on. And Loy comes in to run. So Sutter limping just a little bit. But ever since the 4th inning, Taylor has been able to get the leadoff men on. The issue for them is getting him off of first. Nobody out here for the top of the order in Cam Knepp as the sun creeps out here at Winterholder Field. An 0-for-2 afternoon for Knepp. Fastball high from Hill. Garrett Monday night against Missouri Baptist. 11 pitches, 2 strikeouts. In his only inning of work as he picked up his 6th save of the year and kept this miracle run going for IU Southeast. Tying run is Loy at first. Excellent speed there for the junior. Curveball to Knepp, and the senior takes a strike to even it up. Hill with a 1.38 whip. He's allowed just 8 runs the entire year here in his 22nd appearance. Out of the stretch from the first base side, righty home. Belt high fastball taken for strike 2 from Knepp.
Knepp, patient as always here. Cool, calm, and collected here in the top of the 8th inning.
The walk for him earlier gave him his 61st free pass of the year. That's back-to-back 60 walk seasons for the right fielder. Down to the count, 1-2 to the closer, Hill. Runner at first, nobody out in the 8th. Knepp fights one off inside, got a piece of the catcher Murphy, and the at-bat continues. And this entire place that is almost packed to the gills became eerily quiet as Hill started his motion home. These two fan bases, no slouch and no doubt they know what's riding on this victory here, putting you a win away from the World Series. Both fan bases have tasted it. A leadoff single for the pinch hitter Sutter. Has Loy at first. Knepp trying to move him over. 1-2 Hill. Outside by about a ball and a half, 2-2. Loy with a safe lead over there at first base. Righty versus lefty Hill. 2-2, and that one close, but not close enough. And now it's a full count here to Knepp. Most of the folks here have now leaned to the very edge of their seats here in the lower bowl. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hill readies, Knepp readies, we're ready. Foul tip held on to by Murphy. Knepp looked back hoping it was going to see that ball bouncing free, but he's down on strikes, and there's one gone for Taylor.
Hill leaning really heavily on that fastball, which is a trend we've seen in this game so far for IU Southeast. A little bit different approach than even Taylor or some of the other teams in the tournament who might mix it a little bit more.
And now here's the Player of the Year, Mason David, made the wonderful catch in the bottom half of the 7th. Still has Loy, the tying run at first, his classmate. David turns up the middle, bouncing through, and here comes Loy going first to third as David delivers his second hit of the day, and the tying run 90 feet away. David struck out his first time today. He's now gotten on 3 straight times. And now it's time for the Electric Factory to come to the plate.
I don't know if you need to workshop that one too much anymore, Rick. That's got a good ring to it.
Can we make a T-shirt?
We may need to add David to that. That ball was absolutely scorched up the middle. That wasn't hit too far to the arm side of the second baseman, and it still squeezed past him.
31 extra base hits. I think we can put him into the power factory.
Yeah, maybe we can. Maybe we can.
Third mound visit of the day for IU Southeast. And now here's Sam Glad. First time all day that Taylor has had multiple men on the bases.
If you're Sam here, all you're thinking about is getting that ball in the air.
Sac fly ties it with it. Loy at third. Curveball away, and it's 1-0.
Wisely going with the off speed there is Hill. You know that a guy like Glad is going to be seeing dead red here.
Sam's 0 for 3. Up the left side, and we're tied at 2 as the Trojans come back from down 2-0. Sam's Glad's first hit of the day ignites Winter Holder Field. And now here's Manning. We mentioned the Electric Factory has struggled to the plate today outside of their newest member, Mason David. They came into this frame a combined 0 for 9. Or 0 for 8, excuse me, with Manning the only one to get on before Glad's single. He's got 1 out and 2 on, trying to give Taylor the lead in the top of the 8th. Sits on to the left side, gets on through. Here comes David. He gets the wave around from third. A play at the plate. A good throw. David slides. And he's out. An excellent throw from Colin Long as the Trojans just missed taking the lead here. There's 2 away. The Trojans had the momentum on their side. They threw a man out earlier in the game. Long turns the Trojans down here, and now it's Frickle's turn with 2 outs. Still first and second, tied at 2 as the Trojans have erupted for 4 hits here in the 8th inning. First pitch to Frickle, up and in for a ball. Brennan is 0 for 3 today. Can he be the 3rd straight man of the Electric Factory to get a hit and get on base? Glad tied it with a single. He represents the go-ahead run at second base. Hill readies, looks off to the left. Frickle turns, bouncer up the middle, right at the shortstop, and underhanding to second will be Putnam to Hazelwood. The Trojans have a man thrown out at home trying to take the lead. We are tied at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning here on the Trojan Sports Network.
If you get sick, you can trust that we will take care of you. As a Magnet-designated healthcare system, our expert team will create a personalized plan to get you back on your feet. Marion Health, great care from great people.
Two huge outfield assists. First from Cam Knepp earlier in the game. Colin Long in left field has kept our game tied at 2 as we mosey to the bottom of the 8th with IU Southeast batting. Goodwin leads it off as Boyer starts his 5th inning of work, 4th, taking it from the go. He came in and replaced the starter Crabtree after a leadoff walk in the 4th, and Boyer has been great ever since. Goodwin sends the second one back. It's 1-1. Goodwin today 1 for 3. RBI single in the 3rd. That was the last run scored by the Grenadiers. It put him up 2-0. Taylor has scored in back-to-back innings, as that sets our 2-2 game here for the leadoff man in the bottom of the 8th. Goodwin chops it to the right side softly, and he falls back 1-2.
We'd love to see Boyer to go back to that slider here. You remember back to the last at-bat, he got a lot of bite from Goodwin on some check swings, and would love to see him come back to that. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a little bit down in the zone.
1-2. Up the right side and deep. Knepp's going back. He's at the track. He's at the wall, and it clears the right field fence. And another huge late-inning home run for Goodwin. This gives IU Southeast the lead back as they lead 3-2 with the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 8th. Goodwin has driven in 2 of their 3 runs today. And out comes Taylor head coach Kyle Gould, and it looks like that'll be the end of the line for Boyer. Just the 2nd hit he's given up today, but this one leaves the park up the right side. 3-2 the IU Southeast lead. New arm coming in for Taylor here in the bottom of the 8th on the Trojan Sports Network.
Life to the full for me looks like approaching every conversation as if it is for the kingdom and to the glory of God.
Life to the full to me means being present where your 2 feet are at.
When I think of life to the full, I think of joy, especially the Taylor body, the Taylor community, what Taylor has to offer.
The way we're equipping students to live life to the full is that we're helping them have a global humility.
There's so many things at Taylor that are preparing me to live life to the full. I love doing research and engaging in projects within my major, computer science, so I could go from programming 1 minute to doing a Bollywood dance and performing as part of Mosaic Night the next.
We have a lot of opportunity here to help students and to equip them to live life full now and well beyond their years at Taylor, and part of that is the intentionality we have with developing relationships with one another.
I'm experiencing life to the full at Taylor through the different opportunities that Taylor allows us to learn about different cultures, people, and places.
I love that we get to do chapel together 3 times a week. Nobody takes attendance. Nobody tells me I have to be there, but I get to be there.
I think I see that in sports, on the football field, in the throwing ring, in classes, and also in student leadership positions.
I experience life to the full at chapel because I get to play in a chapel band, and I get to sit up there and play piano and glorify God with one of my gifts.
The community gives me a sense of life to the full in that I get to see students go through their 4 years here, develop as intellectuals and scholars, be prepared for their vocations, and go out into the world and influence the world for Christ.
Pitching change for the Trojans. 2nd time we get to see the 5th-year senior Matt Dudkowski, who's become one of the top relievers for the Trojans here in the postseason. And meeting 13 starts in his first 18 appearances. He gets his 6th out of relief here as he takes over for Jake Boyer, who just gave up the go-ahead home run to Max Flock. Done on the year, a 4.2 ERA, or 4-2 record, I should say, 5.77 ERA. And he misses 2 away here to Flock, the lefty first baseman. Boyer goes 4 innings, gives up the 2 hits, the 1 run, the big one right now as Goodwin gets his 2nd home run here of the opening round. The viral one Monday and a go-ahead one here in the 8th. Jutkowski comes in, he's high, and it's 3-0 here to Flock. Dutt Monday afternoon against Mid-American Nazarene. Did not get a decision, but went the final 2 innings. 1 strikeout, 1 hit on 26 tosses. 4th one. A get-me-over pitch on the outer half, belt high for a strike, 3-1.
If you're Dutt here, your mindset is you're coming into a clean game. You know, you're coming in 0 outs, no one on base. You have to forget that that home run just happened and reset and help get your team in.
Good inside pitch. Sorry, buddy. You were waxing poetic, and I stepped all over your poetry. Phlox thought he was going to go for a jog to first. He steps out of the way, as now Nathaniel Haveman is jotting something down here.
Probably some poetry.
It was the first stoppage for IU Southeast. They've already had 3 mound visits today. That's the first one from the offensive side. Full count to Flock, who's 0 for 2. Hard hit, but right at the second baseman, Frickle. Down on it, fields and fires, and a good one there for Frickle, who's had some hairy moments defensively at second base late. He gets his first one here, and he gets the out clean. 1 gone.
Good job settling in there for Dutt, falling down 3-0 to bounce back with 3 straight strikes and get a ground ball. That should help settle things down here at Winter Holder Field.
This place was ready to come unglued if it wasn't for Colin Long throwing out Mason David trying to score from second, as Murphy, the catcher, pulls one to the left. So both teams have thrown a man out at home today. Knepp did so back to end the 2nd inning. It didn't end the 8th, but it really killed a lot of momentum that was about to explode a half inning ago. Good breaker, or good fastball, I should say, from Jutkowski as it clips the bottom part of the zone for strike 2.
With the kind of movement he has on that fastball, I don't blame you for calling it a breaker there. I mean, that thing started halfway in the batter's box and came back on the outside corner.
Got a couple different arm slots, and he gets a swing and a miss, a heater there upstairs. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Logan Murphy.
Second time a reliever has come in this game for the Trojans in the middle of an inning right after a bad first hitter and come in, gotten 2 quick outs and settled things down. Really good job bouncing back out of the bullpen here.
Coaching staff credits Matt Jutkowski with setting the tone for their staff with how he works every day. One of 3 fifth-year senior arms with his former high school mate Alec Holcomb, who would start the 3rd game for Taylor, whether that be tonight or tomorrow, and Jack Ross, the All-American from a season ago. Ball 1 to Hazelwood. Bouncer to the third base side, stays fair. David Fields throws across to the diamond, and Glad has it. Jutkowski pumped as he tries to get some energy into the Trojans. They need a run as we head to the top of the 9th, trailing 3-2 in this winner's bracket game on TSN.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Taylor trailing, top of the 9th inning. Here in this winner's bracket game, the winner plays tomorrow in the championship game of what could be 2 at 11 a.m. The loser plays tonight to keep their opening round hopes alive. Hill trying to pick up the save here after giving up the tying hit in the top of the 8th. Ball 1 to Picchiotti. Another clutch home run for Goodwin has given IU Southeast the lead back at 3-2 in a wonderfully played game between the 2 and 4 seeds. Ball low, 2-0 to Picchiotti. Indiana Tech and Missouri Baptist have a high bar to meet for our second game today. Picchiotti 1 for 3. Taylor's gotten the leadoff man on in 5 straight innings. And they're a ball away from making it 6 in a row, down by 1. With Kennedy and Remick to follow at 6, 7, and 8 for the Trojans here, the 17th ranked team in the country. 2 seed here in the opening round that they host. 42 wins on the year, tied for the second most in franchise history. 3-0 from Hill. A get-me-over pitch to make it 3-1. Much cooler than when we started the game today. Sun was there for a little bit, but it's been cloudy, cool, and windy since about the 7th inning. That's when Taylor started to get hot. Picchiotti nubs it up the right side, right of the first baseman, Flock. He scoops and steps on the bag as Picchiotti grounds out. Up 3-1, 1 away here in the 9th. Second time today, the Trojans have grounded out to Flock when they've been up 3-1 on a count. So here's Kennedy, his RBI single in the 7th. Got Taylor their first run of the day after the starter Connor Sims for IU Southeast was fantastic. Kennedy, fastball at the knees. Good one pulled up by Murphy. Strike 1. 1 for 3 day for Kennedy. Strikeout, deep fly out to right field, and the RBI single that we mentioned. 1 out, nobody on. Taylor down 3-2. Kennedy pops it up to center field. Jogging casually in his white. He gets called away by Powell, and the right fielder makes it as that wind blew the ball from center field to right center. And Taylor down to their last out here in the top of the 9th as 4-seed IU Southeast tries to keep this magical run going here in the de facto semifinal game on Wednesday. And to think they all started scoring 12 runs with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th on Monday morning. Down to the 5-seed Indiana Tech, who plays later. Remick, the last man standing for Taylor. Ball low. Fletcher, some unfortunate luck today. He's 0 for 3, into that ending double play in the 5th. 2 up, 2 down here for Hill as he tries to get his 7th save of the season and his 2nd one in a row here for the opening round. Righty on righty. Remick takes it on the knees, strike 1, evens it up. Taylor had just 2 hits through the first 6 innings. Their offense has come to life here, but they're going to need to get some 2-out magic going. They're just 1 for 8 with 2 out today. That started off almost looking like it was going to hit Remick. Good pitch from Hill, but it darts inside for a ball. Riley Singleton, the freshman from Evansville, Indiana, stands on deck. If Remick can get on base and extend the game here with Taylor down 3-2. 2 outs in the top of 9. 4th one from Hill. Remick fouls it down, and the Trojans are down to their last strike here today. Remick, the sophomore, who's pretty much just a courtesy runner, missing most of his freshman year with injury, has been a bright spot here late in the year around tournament time in his sophomore campaign. 2 outs, nobody on, the 2-2 delivery. Remick watches ball 3 miss low, and it's a full count. Taylor down by just a single run. Here's the visiting team on their home field in the most tightly contested game of our opening round so far. Hill versus Remick. Full count. Up the middle, bouncing through and diving, stopping. Hazelwood throws, not in time. Remick safe, and the tying run is on. Excellent job by Hazelwood to dive and stop it. If that thing was rolling closer, maybe not with 2 outs, but there'd be some thinking going on about trying to take 2.
Yeah, a lot of composure there from Fletcher, down to your last strike and your last out to stick in there and put a good swing on it. You're seeing a lot of the same composure, that a much older team like IU Southeast has shown in this tournament.
So here's Singleton, who had a breakout doubleheader as the DH, launching multiple home runs against Indiana Wesleyan. He has the tying run in Remick at first. Singleton batting .261. Second time pinch hitting here in the opening round. Ball low. He pinch hits for Caruso out of the 9 spot. .261 the average for Singleton. 22 driven in, 3 homers for the 6'1 righty, 205 freshman. Hill, the senior, readies. Second one home. Singleton underneath and fouls it out of play. And that one narrowly misses hitting a car. We can tell by the reaction from the Taylor students, who are used to watching foul balls almost dent the automobiles in the parking lot just to the right of Winterholder Field. Hill, the right-hander out of Zionsville, Indiana. Just walked Remick to put the tying run on. Third one. Singleton charges it up the right side, hanging in the air. Men running after it, hustling is Powell, and it just slips out of play. As Powell has shown his wheels are off today, and he almost had a chance there, but that wind just blew it out over the right side fencing. And for the second straight batter, Taylor is down to their last strike here in this winner's bracket game. Trying to play for their season tonight at 7 p. Remick got down 1-2. He was able to work a full count walk. Singleton had a sac fly in his only plate appearance of the opening round on Monday. Taylor down 3-2. Runner at first, 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Hill v. Singleton. Ball high, and they're going to let Remick take second base. So a base hit could make things kind of interesting. 2-2 to Singleton. 2 outs, top of 9. The first 2 men retired. For Remick drew a walk, has extended this game to the pinch hitting Singleton. Hill, the superstar closer for the Grenadiers, readies. 2-2 home. Singleton up the right side, going deep, tracking it is Powell. He makes the catch on the warning track, and this dream run for IU Southeast continues as they knock off the 2-seed Taylor in a thriller, 3-2, as Singleton put a charge into it, but it was right at Powell. He ranges back and hauls it in. And IU Southeast is a win away from the World Series. They play tomorrow at 11. Taylor will play for their season tonight at 7 o'clock. A tough one for the Trojans to take. The offense, Noah, just didn't get going early enough. It did, but then timely defensive outs by IU Southeast really seemed to be the name of the game today.
Yeah, that throw from long out in left field to cut down David at home really seems to have saved the game here for the Grenadiers. You could see that inning turning out a lot different had that throw not been so great, just on the money to gun David at home. You also have to give props to the freshman, Connor Sims. A great start to keep things rolling for the Grenadiers. Taylor's coming off a kind of a steamroll performance on Monday. The offense was hot, a couple home runs, and Sims really set the tone early for the Grenadiers.
Just the 4th loss for Taylor here on the home field. With them being the visiting team today, it'll go down as a neutral site game, but it's the 4th loss for Taylor here at Winterholder this year. We will take a break and come back with the Ivanhoe's post-game show. Game 1 in the books. The 4-seed IU Southeast, thanks to that viral comeback on Monday, has rode that momentum to 3 straight wins in total. And they're a win away from the World Series. They'll play for that tomorrow. Taylor plays for their season tonight at 7 o'clock against the winner between Indiana Tech and Mid-America Nazarene. Ivanhoe's post-game show next here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland. It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, Rob Sisson, and Adam Sieglin, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Welcome back here to Winter Holder Field. The Taylor Trojans suffered just their 4th loss on the field that they call home this year. 3-2 as the visiting team to the 4-seed IU Southeast. Here on the Ivan Host postgame show, we're now joined by the Taylor head coach, Kyle Gould. Tough one for your team to take. Offense struggled early against Sims. The freshman was great. You guys got the offense going late, and just a great throw from left field kept you guys from the lead. What'd you think about the team's performance to come back there in the last 3 innings?
Well, a lot of credit to their starter. He threw great. Velocity was good. He had his secondary stuff really working, and we knew how good he was, and our mindset is to try to get him out in the 5th or 6th inning, and felt like he was getting tired in the 6th. Get a guy on, and Cam hits a rocket up the middle, just hits the mound, and they turn double play, and they're very good defensively. But that felt like a big play, and then we still were able to knock him out that inning, and then have a chance, and then Ben gets that big 2-out hit in the 7th, and then. You string it together a little bit in the 8th, and guy made a great throw, and I don't know, and they come up, and Jake Boyer was fantastic out of the bullpen, and I hate that was his last hitter because that's one of his best outings of the year, and credit their guy, he gets one out of here, and they take the lead, and then we come up, and Fletch gets a big hit, steals second, and then I thought Riley juiced that ball to end it. So there was some good things late. When you're playing with the heavy air and the wind blowing in, it's going to be low scoring, and we probably had too many freebies early to give him those early 2 runs. Too many balls up there. But I thought Jake Boyer was fantastic, and Matt came in and settled it. And like I said, we had some good at-bats late and had chances to do it, and just couldn't quite cash in. But credit to IU Southeast. They played great. Their starting pitcher was fantastic today, and they're playing great in this tournament, and that's why they're heading to the championship game.
Sadly, we'll see you back here at 7 o'clock. We still have a chance to make that championship game tomorrow. Kyle, thanks for the time.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Rick.
That's head coach Kyle Gould, the back-to-back coach of the year of the Crossroads League, as his team will try to keep their season alive tonight against the winner of our second game today, Indiana Tech and Missouri Baptist. IU Southeast, the hottest team cooking right now, maybe even in the country. They've won 3 in a row, all starting with that wild comeback effort on Monday, and they were in the championship game tomorrow at 11. They will wait the winner of our final game tonight. Will it be Taylor for the second time, or will they get to see Missouri Baptist or Indiana Tech for the second time? It'll be Mo Bap and I and Indiana Tech playing here at 3:30. Our start here for Game 2. The winner takes on Taylor tonight. So thanks to Gabe Hotmeyer, our producer. The executive producer of the Trojan Sports Network is Seth Michael. We will talk to you in about an hour for Game 2 today. Indiana Tech and Missouri Baptist. The winner turns around and plays Taylor tonight at 7 o'clock. This has been a presentation of Taylor Baseball and the Upland Opening Round Bracket here on the Trojan Sports Network.
proceeding has been a presentation of the Trojan Sports Network.